I think the Dari Dapur, storytelling example is one of really bringing different backgrounds together, different perspectives together, to understand, to ask questions, to really find ways for those bridges to exist, and then once they are there, to strengthen them.
I think the way to tell more inclusive stories is number one, as the storytellers, you have to be in tune and in touch with the issues on the ground and issues around us, with current affairs and things like that. Not only are we supposed to be in tune with the issues, but I think that it's also good that we empathize and sympathize maybe with those issues. And I think if you naturally have that intention when you're telling stories, it will come through.
We always hear what other people say they think or why they do certain stuff. Their intentions are always told from the point of view of someone else. I mean, I would like, if I am an audience, I would like to hear the point of view of the person they're talking about. And I think that also will help clarify a lot of maybe misinformation surrounding certain issues regarding immigration. Why do they come here? Why are they here? Are they really stealing our jobs? How hard it is for them to survive here? I would like to hear their points of view on it.
Just looking at the whole Dari Dapur experience, there are a few things to draw out. Like, first is that to tell inclusive storytelling, you need to have a great understanding, a deep understanding of your audience. Number two is you really need to go out of silos, and number three is to find common narratives. So looking at what they did is they used food as the entry point, and actually identify particular common messaging or values that your audience can resonate with.
From today, what we see here is that we need to engage with the different communities, with the different parties and sides that are that is out there, right? As storytellers, we don't know a lot of things because we're not in those positions, and the stories that we're telling, sometimes or most of the time, they're not our stories, right? It's stories of other people, and we want to include them in. So I think one thing that I got out from today is that you need to engage these communities. You need to engage these people. When you engage with them, it's easier to tell the stories, and probably you'll also learn that you're not the one telling the story. You're just facilitating the actual stories being told.
King right now, if you go on TikTok, if you go on social media, people don't want to read the whole thing. Some of them do. I'm not saying everybody doesn't want to read. Some of them do. But to attract them to read the longer version of your stories, you do have to have some form of short form content. It can be a visual explainer. Like on Instagram, you can have slides, very simplified slides that explain a certain issue, a complex issue. Or you can have video explainers. Those are just really popular right now.
Takeaway is also the need to train ourselves and build our own capacity, our own consciousness about what inclusive messaging, what rights-based messaging looks like, because it's not easy to even understand some of these issues. What we are looking here is migration issues, and migration issues or human displacement issues are not easy to understand. And so as content producers ourselves, we need to build our own knowledge capacity around that.
Normally, I seen this many media, actually, they are more focusing in the refugee community rather than migrant communities. So I think we need to be more emphasized to migrant community to address their problems. But the refugee community also we can look, but equal way. Sometimes I see the overlapping refugee community and migrant community. So some people are more priorities to the refugee communities. So the migrant community is less priorities.
And also that not only about the abuse cases or the criminal case appear in the media on the public, but also the contribution of domestic workers must be so on the public, that they are also contribute a lot to the family of the employer, to the countries of the destination, and also from the resource country as well. This is most of them didn't really show in the public. That's why until now the governments do not recognize us as workers, because they didn't see us as a worker and see us like a domestic servant. I think the people who do not support yet the domestic workers because they don't know who we are, what is our contribution. So it's our job to spread the news, to spread the idea, and also more engagement with them, not hate them, but give more education. This is also media job to do this, not only the bad news, yeah, but also the good influence, and also that I know Malaysia there's a lot of good employer, so that best practice and good employer must be to share the experience.
Everyone has a phone now. Everyone has social media. They are sharing their stories all the time. And content creators out there making stories about themselves or each other. So many stories. And certainly in Malaysia, it's the same. We have stories about the mainstream populations and also stories about migrant and refugee or other marginalized communities. But we never seem to be able to have shared stories, where these stories can have a shared space, where these stories can have characters from across this divide coming together and talking about the things that they have in common, things that they like, and to celebrate that commonality and also their differences. It's brought us to this place where we can finally say, yes, we want shared stories. We want stories where we can come together and the story isn't about one particular group or this particular group, but a story that's really about how different groups can come together. Yeah, and I think Malaysia is at that point where we really need those stories.
I think the importance of the UN, given that it is, the custodian of the, universal values of the UN Universal Declaration on human rights, on various, norms that we stand on and try to advocate. I think our role is really to try and build that knowledge of the issues. And make sure that we use every means available, whether it is making sure that it is available in the language of the country, whether it is simplified in its these concepts that can sometimes sound so complex and so difficult to understand. Is try to really play that role of digesting the information, bringing it in language that everybody understands, and make that language become part of the narrative. I believe this is something also where the UN can play a role.